Hi, I'm Harry Neal, and I'd like to welcome you to Hockey's Hardest Hitters 91. There's no question that in the National Hockey League these days, the players are getting bigger and they're getting faster. And that makes one of my favorite parts of the game, bodily contact, more spectacular and more entertaining. So sit back. For the next little while, I want you to fasten your seat belts, put on your helmets, and enjoy our collection from last season's best body checks on Hockey's Hardest Hitters 91. Some of the best body checkers get trapped on the wrong end of a body check. And Kevin Lowe, don't you be touching that 99 if you want to stay a member of the Players Association. Lee Norwood, you're going to find yourself in your own barbecue if you try that stunt very often. Blackjack, in the corner by Kelly Buchberger, Samuelson in La La Land. A quick elbow to the face of Flip Ronnie. Changing on the fly the hard way by Guy Carbonneau. Who says all hockey equipment fits loosely? Heads up, Joe. Randy led a serve, first from Nhl'S, and then another one from Chris Nhl'S. Now that I've got you in the mood for some heavy bodily contact, let's carry on by presenting our Hardest Hitters Top 10 Countdown. I've selected the 10 best hits from last season. And here's number 10. Number 10, you cannot cut across the rink with your head down. Christian Ruutu takes an awful wallop from Randy Carlyle. Carlyle without the helmet, Ruutu without the head. And Gordon Donnelly, 24, gets in on the tail end of this Randy Carlyle hit. Number 10 on our list. It seems to me in the past, goalies have been out of bounds to the top hitters in the National Hockey League. But lately, these padded targets have become fair game. Our next section is dedicated to the most spectacular hits on the mass marvels of the ice. You don't have to play goal for very long in the National League to quickly learn the puck isn't the only health hazard on the ice. Ever since they stopped tying the nets down, players have been heading into the goaltender in every NHL rink, in every game. Maybe this is why they wear all the pads. Dave Maley into the net before it gets to the back to retrieve that puck on the big goal. The bigger crease means you get more guys in it, I guess. The odd time the goalie takes out a forward. And Jacques Cloutier remembering the days that his mother said, "Jacques, I'd like you to be a right winger." Well, let's pick up our countdown again and give you a look at hit number 9. Brian Marchman delivers an elbow sandwich to Steve Thomas right here. Thomas takes the pass and then takes the elbow. Marchman, I'm sure, took the penalty. But our hit list progresses to number 8. Mark Tenorti, who delivers a lot of these hits, takes a beauty from John McIntyre. Head down, puck rolling. Big Mac levels Mark Tenorti. Here's another look at what Tenorti did not see coming. Hit number 8 by John McIntyre of the LA Kings. I'm sure you've noticed that in every National Hockey League game, there's a third team on the ice, the officials. And things can get just as rough for the Zebras. We're dedicating this next piece to the style and grace of the guys in stripes. The linesman's job never seems to end. Asseltine cleaning up around the North Star net. NHL linesmen never dreamt they'd have to break up fights involving a Chippendale dancer. I told Andy, take your skate guards off before you get to the rink. And here's another linesman blocking a shot. I think Ron Hogarth's cute, says the one. Ron Hextall to the goal judge. Can you believe what call that referee made? And Carol Alt signing an autograph for Don Koharski. And Don wants my phone number now? We'll get the tooth out of this guy yet. I want Chinese food. He wants Italian food. Let's find out where there's a good restaurant from the timer. Paul Stewart, this is the way we fish for bluefish off my Cape Cod home. How many arms does that Leon Stickle have? Oh, there's the head to a pair of arms. Gerard Gauthier caught in the middle. Think it's easy being a linesman? Kevin Collins takes 3 to the nose from Craig Berube. Ron Hogarth sliding into first base under the tag, according to referee Kerry Fraser. Shampoo, you need a shampoo. And I'm going to give you one, says Collins. And we'll get that puck out of your eye, Kevin. Those black Canuck uniforms look better every year. Yeah, Hoagie, you're right. Enough brutality. I feel it's time for some class, culture, and refinement. Don't you? Look out! Tough way to check into the Sheraton. Clark saying to Denny Savard, I didn't like you in Chicago, and I don't like you any better now. This could be the last stick handling demonstration by that Flyer goaltender. Clark, some tough forechecking like only he can do. Rick Nhl'S takes an awful shot there in the head. And here he is saying to himself, hey, I know the bench is over here somewhere. Let's pick up the countdown again with hit number 7. Ken Hammond on Andrew Castles at the Boston blue line. A beautiful hip check, a free ride, and a free fall for Castles. Here's a closer look at what Andrew Castles felt. A beauty. Now let's have a look at hit number 6. Joel Savage takes it from Scott Stevens. Stevens in white, number 2, one of the best open ice hitters in the league, sends Savage airborne with an over-the-hip check at his own blue line. Further down the list, hit number 5. Thomas Steen runs into a roadblock as number 5, Steve Smith, closes the door on the Jet captain. A great check here where Steen receives a face full of pants from the tough checking Steve Smith. So our hit number 5 goes to the Oilers' number 5, Steve Smith. After watching all these great hits, I'm in the mood for a good toe-to-toe fight. What? No fighting? Any chance of a dance? Now let's get that German Oom-Pa-Pa band giving us a little background music to this dance. These boys have got the footwork down and are working on the fist work. Here's a pair with great rhythm. Here's a few guys that can't connect with their swings. Doug Risberg requesting an Irish jig. And two tough Irishmen, McGill and McRae, go at it with great enthusiasm. A little faster pace to this song. And a few more swings from these fighters. No footwork here. Cox and Crowder. Byers and Ray. Such lovely partners for this music from Ireland. And here we have the Virginia Reel. Lots of partners, dancing around, having a whale of a time. And Buffalo's Rob Ray prefers a little music from south of the border. How about a tango for two? Smooth. These two enchiladas are a little more serious about their dance. Wilkinson and McKay. Love is in the air as Shane Corson chooses Mark Hunter with whom to dance. Lots of movement, not many punches. Hannon and Basson. Takes more than two to tango here, boys. Let's travel up the list to number 4, hit number 4. Cam Neely gets decked in the playoffs by Ulf Samuelsson. A suicide pass and nearly a killing there. You wonder why Pittsburgh got by Boston and onto the Cup? Might have been this hit that did it. Number 3 as we chart down the list. Theron Fleury goes outside, inside, and tries to go over. You better sit on Theron when you knock him down. He gets up for a great shot here. Let's look at this again. The acrobatic Fleury trying to get past the rookie Rob Blake and doesn't make it. Hit number 2 on our chart is a bone crusher. The only trouble is they're both on the same team. Chorsky and Castle meet at the middle of the Montreal Forum. Here it is again. Tough enough looking out for the wrong colored shirt. Andrew Castle says he's all right. I'll go over to the bench and talk to you about it. Well, on the other hand, maybe I'll wait. Hit number 2 involving two guys from the same team. And now let me show you hit number 1 from last year. Tom Fergus is leveled by Dave, or is it Lawrence Taylor, at the LA Forum when Taylor comes out of the penalty box and catches Tom Fergus counting the laces on his feet. And it is a beauty. If there's an ounce of air left in Fergus, it's got to be in his skates. Dave Taylor, the veteran winger for the LA Kings, nearly ends the career of Tom Fergus with this check. Fergus ducks, but can't get out of the way of the runaway freight train, Dave Taylor. And that was number 1 on my list for hits last year. Dave Taylor on Tom Fergus. Why don't we take a look back at the top 10 hits from last year, starting with hit number 10. Christian Rutu gets jolted by veteran Randy Carlisle at the Winnipeg blue line. This nearly finished the Finnish Buffalo Sabre. Number 9, Brian Marchment knocks Steve Thomas into the middle of next week with this elbow. And number 8, Mark Tenorti from John McIntyre, as Tenorti has his head down, coming out of his own zone, trying to kick the puck up from his feet, and then can't stay on them. Number 7 on our list of hits, Ken Hammond. Look at the hang time for Andrew Castles on that perfect hip check delivered by 55 of the Bruins, Ken Hammond. Down the list to number 6, Joel Savage can't get out of the way of Scott Stevens in a mid-ice collision at the St. Louis blue line. Up and away for Savage. And here's our version of hit number 5, delivered on Thomas Steen by number 5, Steve Smith of the Oilers. You don't find Steen getting himself into that predicament very often. Big hit number 4 is the next one we'll see here. And Cam Neely takes a pass in his feet, and he's run over by the RoboCop, Ulf Samuelsson of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Samuelsson did this regularly to Cam Neely as a Whaler and now as a Penguin. And our version of number 3 from last year involves the acrobatic Theoren Fleury, who can't get by rookie Rob Blake. And Blake sends him on the overland route. Fleury tries it any way he can. Doesn't quite make it this time. What I rate as my number 2 hit of the season involves 2 players from the same team trying to be at the same place at the same time. Chorsky and Castles in a mid-air collision at center ice at the Forum. Hit number 2. And my favorite hit of the year, by far the biggest check of the season, Dave Taylor on Tom Fergus after Taylor comes out of the penalty box. I hope you've enjoyed our visit with the heavy hitters around the National Hockey League as much as I have. I'm Harry Neal, and remember, when you go to the rink, you keep your head up too.